So stubborn, but it's sexy, babe. You don't let nobody tell.
Hi, I am back here with another reaction video, and this one is going to be a little more different and kind of scary. Well, not scary necessarily. Actually, no, it is a little scary, but also we're going to be talking about, you know, outer body experiences on this. So what we're going to be reacting to is Matthew Santoro, 10 spooky out of a body experiences. He's going to be talking about, I guess, people's experiences, like different types of outer body experiences people have had. I've had not anything really related to that, like nothing very, I don't know what to do, I'm scared right now. Like I haven't had anything like, you know, that just jump scares you, or it just scares you in general, like. But yeah, no, let's see what this is, how this turns out.
Human history is littered with stories about the soul or spirit leaving its earthly body and passing on to the unknown void. But some individuals claim to be able to temporarily project their mind out of their body to visit the mysterious realms and dimensions of the spirit world. And sometimes those spiritual journeys hold a terror all of their own.
In the middle of Washington.
Here are 10 spooky out-of-body experiences. Number 10 is the wrong place.
Okay.
Also known as astral projection, when practitioners leave their bodies to explore the world of spirit form, there are some environments they try to avoid. One of these is any place which is already haunted by a malevolent spiritual entity. When Andrea projected out of her body, she suddenly found herself standing at the top of the stairs in her boyfriend's father's home. The father had recently passed away, and people had experienced strange goings-on there. When Andrea projected into that house, she felt the same evil presence and was soon attacked by something unseen. Clawing to get back to her body, Andrea finally broke free from the evil spirit's claws and snapped back into her body in another location. After that, she hoped to never set foot in that house again. Number 9 is motionless. Some people have experienced a combination of sleep paralysis and astral projection, which is terrifying. One practitioner who posted to the Psychic Experiences forum described how she woke up and couldn't move. Then her spirit slowly rose out of her body towards the ceiling before she felt her spirit body being dragged to the floor. Throughout the entire ordeal, she was unable to move and began to have the horrible realization that something was trying to pull her out of her body. Not only that, but the entity that was doing this was the ghost of her deceased brother. Thankfully, she soon snapped back into her body, but when looking for a reason why it happened, she soon realized that her brother's spirit was not happy about the fact that she had held onto some of his ashes after cremation.
Really?
Number 8 is no one listens.
I never thought that someone would actually get that upset about something.
Sometimes spontaneous astral projection can occur. This is when the soul is suddenly ejected from the body. When this happens, it can be a terrifying experience, and for some, this manifests itself as a strange vibrating feeling before it happens. For others, it comes out of nowhere, such as in one Quora poster's experience, where their first time projecting was unwanted and frightening. They couldn't understand why they were being ignored by their family. After screaming and shouting without gaining any response, it became clear something was very, very wrong. Finally, the Quora poster saw their body lying down and realized they had left their earthly vehicle behind. After finally snapping back into their body, they ran terrified from their house, the family having no idea that their relative's spirit had been trying to talk to them all along. Number 7 is a split personality. Out-of-body experiences have been recorded throughout human history, and in a particularly famous case, the experience was bizarre and unnerving. In the early 1900s, French autologist Pierre Bonnier wrote a case study on a patient who only partially projected from their body into the astral plane. When this happened, the patient experienced the world through 2 sets of eyes. It was as though their consciousness had split into 2, and the patient was experiencing the world as 2 different people. This existential crisis was only remedied when the split spirits walked towards each other and then finally merged back into one person. The patient was scared beyond belief at what had happened, and they never quite looked at themselves in the mirror the same way again. Number 6 is the world spinning. One common complaint of spontaneous out-of-body experiences is that they bring about a series of unsettling symptoms. In a study looking at people with vestibular disorders, it was discovered that many of them suffered from out-of-body experiences, but these were not of the spiritual calming kind. Instead, many of these individuals reported being snapped out of their bodies with great force. Then, before being able to find their bearing, the world around them would start to spin violently, so much so that it would cause a deep feeling of nausea and confusion. Blinding headaches would follow, and it was described by some as being a gut-wrenching roller coaster with no way to stop. This happened numerous times to these patients, and it made them deeply fear even the mention of out-of-body experiences. Number 5 is grounding. A worrying side effect for some people who regularly leave their bodies is that they suffer from what's known as improper grounding. These individuals regularly go into the spiritual dimension and feel more connected to that realm than the physical one where their body resides. When returning to the body, the real world then feels dim and unreal. This has profoundly affected some practitioners, robbing them of concentration and even resulting in physical problems. One person suffering from improper grounding felt that the spiritual plane was so compelling that all they could do was think about it. The thought consumed them until it affected their relationships. One theory is that those who do not pull back from the brink eventually fade to become a shadow person, neither living nor dead.
Ooh.
Number 4 is the dark figure.
Oh no. I'll be having nightmares.
On an astral projection forum, one user named Tom posted his encounter with an entity. Tom had been able to project his spirit out of his body for some time. These experiences had been positive. That was until one night when he left his body and began to experience a creeping unease. All around him, the atmosphere felt charged, and he suspected that something malevolent was watching him. It was at that moment that he saw a tall, dark figure standing at the end of his bed where his body lay. When Tom tried to communicate with this figure, it lunged forward and grabbed his spiritual body, holding him down against the floor by his bed. Tom began to feel extremely dizzy as the figure glared into his eyes. It was then that Tom used a chant to force himself back into his body, and he then lay in the darkness, afraid of the emptiness at the end of his bed. Number 3 is Family Feud. One of the most frightening accounts of out-of-body experiences gone wrong comes from a post on astralvoyage.com. Forum user Jalen describes this experience in detail. The background to the story is that Jalen grew up around her grandfather's girlfriend, who was not a good person. When the girlfriend passed away, Jalen began to have out-of-body experiences. These, however, were not like most such experiences. Jalen believed that the malevolent spirit of her grandfather's girlfriend had laid a claim on the house. Often, the girlfriend's ghost could be felt in the environment watching. At night, Jalen would feel the dark presence, and on several occasions found herself leaving her body. Panicked, she would attempt to get back into her body and often felt as though invisible hands were holding her down in the process.
Oh boy.
Number 2 is astral
Excuse me?
vampire. Erin had long practiced astral projection. In fact, she was so adept at it that she considered herself stronger in her astral form than in her physical one. One night, she and her boyfriend had an argument, as though negativity had filled the air around them. Suddenly, they passed out. Erin woke in her astral form out of her body and looked around her. In the nearby room, she saw a floating white orb. Soon, the orb changed into what can only be described as an astral vampire. It had a yellow and red face with deep-set eyes which glared at her angrily. This being then tried to drain her spirit, which would have resulted in her death. Erin was able to reconnect with her body just in time before it was too late. Such astral vampires have been written about many times, and for some, they are among the most frightening beings to exist in the astral
I'm happy I heard about. I don't.
And number 1 is possession.
Already. Oh my god, my blood always sickens.
For beginners of astral projection, there is one element of the out-of-body experience to fear the most: possession. Because the spirit is allegedly able to leave the physical body, this makes the body a desirable receptacle for a demonic entity. Many people have reported that during their out-of-body experience, they encounter a shadowy creature which not only tries to stop them from getting back into their body, but tries to possess the body itself. Some demonologists believe that this is the very method through which possession is possible, that these creatures, which crave life, can enter a body while it's vacant. Most worrying of all, there are rumors that some people have never come back at all and have been locked out of their bodies, and that the person walking around who looks like them is in fact an evil creature, hell-bent on destroying their life.
Wow.
Thank you very much for subscribing, and a very special thanks to all of my channel members, especially the ones you can see on screen right now. All of you help keep my channel going. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.
Wow. Oh my goodness. I did not think of that at all. I've had this happen to me. Not necessarily any of these, thank goodness, but like, I didn't think of the consequences that would come being when it's like you leaving your body, like your spirit is leaving your physical body. I didn't think of that at all. Like, none of these crossed my mind. And at the time being, I was like, guided. This happened at all. That is like basically a easy way for them to just, seize your body. I did not think. Wow. Thank goodness I wasn't that far gone away from it. But no, these were very, 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 very interesting. I didn't know, energy vampires. I didn't know at all. I was not told about this. I have, left my body unintentionally. I can't say that. It was very unintentional. Both times was very unintentional. But whenever you do yoga and stuff like that, it's very relaxing, and it puts you in a trance state where it's just like you don't feel anything. You just feel uplifted and bliss. You're relaxed. That's the last thing that's on your mind right now, is that energy vampire and being possessed. But I'm shook just by hearing all of this and seeing these people going through stuff like this, where it's just like, these are experienced people, like people that actually experience, where it's like a lot of knowledge to know what to do and how to, snap into that and snap back out, where I was literally in that blind. So just imagine. Wow. I really love his channel. I love all the stuff that he talks about. He is very interesting. He talks a lot about different topics and different things. he covers on, you know, basically facts, you know, listen to it. It's just like the weird part of the internet. I'm very, very touched into knowledge and knowing things. But yeah, no, check out his channel. He's got a boatload of videos, and I will be reacting to a lot of these also. That concludes this video for today. I will be having another one soon. I'm trying to at least react to a music video without the whole complications of, you know, copyright rights and stuff like that, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, no, this was a good video. Hope you guys liked it, and I will be